Here we go now.
Hercules. Mary Jane said, I'm watching from my room in Detroit. No, that's right. Philly's in the house. Pennsylvania's in the house. Houston's in the house. What's going on? Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. Atlanta's in the building. What's going on? Happy Friday. Can y'all believe it's Friday? I feel like we were just doing our Friday live and we recapped Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So many of you keep hitting me up saying, are you going to recap Real Housewives of Rhode Island? We did last Friday and this past Tuesday. The first 2 episodes have been released. So if you missed it, go check it out. I even put timestamps. Okay. Shout out to everyone watching from around the country and around the world. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on everything that we're going to talk about during our Friday Live. This is where we talk about a variety of hot topics, a variety of reality TV shows. I saw that Amanda Butula from Summer House has released another statement. And if you missed the video that I posted this week in regards to Summer House, be sure to check it out because I spill some tea. Because I haven't been watching and recapping Summer House. So I never really look for tea or get information. I just happen to get some information about what's going on over there. So if you missed that video this week, be sure to check it out and be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. Can you guys hear me, see me? I'm assuming you can because you all are interacting. Because normally if you couldn't hear me or see me, you'd be like, no sound, no sound. It's okay. But we are here. We are here. We are queer. And it's almost summer.
How you doing?
All right. Where do I even want to begin? You know, we always start our Friday lives off with Flunky of the Week. The Flunky of the Week has to be the President of the United States. And I don't need to give you examples, okay? I don't need to give you examples. The example's already there. Let's continue to pray for Palestine. But more specifically this week, I've seen what Israel has done to Lebanon, innocent people. Let's pray for Lebanon and what's going on over there. Crazy to me. What this world is coming to and what our tax-paying dollars are funding. But anyway, so the Flunky of the Week is the President of the United States. He decided to come against some of his fellow MAGA people. And MAGA people, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, I know they've been coming out against him a little too late. Cause like, am I supposed to be like, yay, Candace Owens finally seeing the light? No, she also wore with Kanye White Lives Matter t-shirt. I haven't forgotten about that. Oh, now because you disagree with him on one particular topic, save it, please. All of you. Y'all can have all your infighting, okay? Miss B Wood says, pray for his removal. Every day. Every day. But anyway, I've digressed. So that's the Flunky of the Week, the President of the United States. All right? All right. Some good news. You know, we love to start off one of these lives with some good news. Congratulations to Brandy. You know, Brandy, who I've interviewed multiple times. We even did a quick little book review on our TikTok and social medias. talking about her book. I was just on Dr. Frieda's YouTube channel yesterday. If you missed it, we had a great conversation along with some other experts, including Dr. Ebony, who is a psychologist. Be sure to check that out. We were talking about the Wanye and the Brandy of it all. But despite all of that, Brandy landed on the number one of the, I can't even speak today, y'all. On the number one on the New York Times bestsellers list. Congratulations. Hardcover nonfiction, Brandy's album. Well, hopefully album next. Brandy's memoir, Phases, number one on the New York Times bestsellers list. She was number 2 on the combined print and ebook notification. So congratulations to Brandy. That's impressive. Look, at the end of the day, people make it to the bestsellers list, and sometimes it's like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 0. So some people don't make it to the bestsellers list. So this is a huge feat. Her memoir is number 1. Congratulations to Brandy. I think we all had a part because we've been talking about this damn book. We've been talking about this damn book for weeks now. So if you haven't checked it out, it's definitely a really great read. We're going to continue to talk about it. So stay tuned. Okay. Stay tuned. Thank you so much, the Dan Talk, for the super chat and for being a member. Dan Talk says, loved your political talk with Taria this week. And if you missed it, I was also on Taria Faizan's podcast on Tuesday. We do talk. If you want to hear more about some of my thoughts on what's going on in the world, we also talk some reality television as well. So be sure to check out that. I was busy this week. I was on everybody's channel twerking it. Look, twerking it. Thank you, Dan Talk, for reminding me. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. Okay, that's on What Else Is Going On podcast with Taria Faizan. You can hear that on YouTube. You can hear it on podcast platforms as well. All right, so congratulations to Brandy. All right. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go first. Where do I want to go first? You know what? We'll talk about Ladies of London first, and then we'll get into some of the other hot topics. I also want to pull up the taglines. The taglines for the Real Housewives of Atlanta have been released. So let me actually see if I can pull that up now so I can get back to it later. They usually give the actual written version, but I guess not today. Guess not today. All right. I'll pull that up in a second. All right. Moving on from there. Let me get into Ladies of London. Are you guys still enjoying Ladies of London? I feel like this could have been an 8-episode season. We're on episode 7. I don't need it to be 10 episodes, just based off of what they're arguing about now. I enjoy Ladies of London. I definitely think that it was a great reboot. However, I feel like, okay, now we're dragging out this argument between Kimmy and Mark Francis. And look, I enjoy Mark Francis. I think Mark Francis is great for reality television, but I keep telling you, I'm suspicious about him and what he's portraying. I do believe he's portraying a character, but I enjoy that character on reality television. But there's something a little bit more sinister behind this man. I don't know what it is, but there is. His battle with Margot, I feel like I would much rather them get it in and not get it in, like, but I'd much rather them actually go at it, as opposed to this sort of nicety, sort of like cat and mouse that they're playing. I'd much rather them like go for it. But it's sort of like this sort of like this little back and forth. They're talking to other people about each other. They have more sinister things to say about each other to other people than to their faces. You know what I mean? Rochelle says Mark Francis can go. I am not feeling him. I feel that he's fake. I don't want him to go because I think he actually is interesting as a reality TV star. But there's definitely something very fakery about him. I don't know what it is. I feel like the longer you're on reality television, the more it will be exposed. Deborah says Mark is getting on my nerves. He's just too over the top fake. Yeah. And it's so funny seeing Margot call him out for it. But you know who's the heart of the show for me for Ladies of London? Martha. Because I feel like Martha has lived a life. There's so much more to Martha. She also doesn't seem sinister. I like her character on this show. And I kind of want to see this through. I want to see her return to grace. And I want to learn more about her. Like this week, we're talking about how she used to, ride horses, and one particular horse that she hasn't been able to ride because she couldn't afford it, so she rents out the horse. Martha is my heart, and she was, last week she was stuck between her friends Kimmy and Margot. But exactly, Lakita says that Martha has a real story. It's a little sad. The story is a little sad, but it's real and it feels authentic. And she seems like a lovely person. Kimmy, I can't say the same, because if you guys notice, I told you Kimmy has Dorititis. With the accents. Because if you pay attention, when she's talking to Mark, she goes over Mark's, gaudy home, and she's speaking a certain way. But I told you, if I lived in England for a period of time, give me a year, I would be speaking with some shape of an accent. Okay? Some shape of an accent. It might be American, it might be English, and it might be a little patois. It's going to be a mixture of both. And you're going to be like, Kempire, have you changed? Are you Doritoing us? What are you doing here? But then if you pay attention to Kimmy in her confessionals, it's a completely different accent. Foxy says Margot's a bit sneaky. I don't trust Margot either. Margot and Mark are probably having that issue of they're very much alike. And that's why they don't like each other. But I need them to actually fight. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to talk about each other, I want that one time, go at it face to face, because they're very sharp when they're talking about each other. At one particular point, Margot called him a little bitch. And I was like, oh, okay. But I agreed with Margot. I agree with her. Winter says Kimmy's a little dark sometimes. Oh, a little dark? Yes. Mr. Melon Magic said, I can't stand a fake accent. Please understand, if and when I move to London, you will be getting a trifecta of an accent from me. It's going to be a mixture of English, patois, and an American. You know what I'm saying? Lakita says Margot's a mean girl. You think she's a mean girl? I can see how you could see she's a mean girl. But then I'm thinking, it's the battle of the mean girls. Kimmy and Mark Francis versus Margot. But I could definitely see the potential. And Cece says, okay, Dorit. Yes, it's going to be a mixture. And you're going to deal with it because now I'm English. Okay? Casey says, Kimmy has lived in England for over 25 years, so I can understand why she has a little accent. It's inconsistent, though. That's the thing. It's an inconsistent accent. It was such a stark difference when she was speaking with Mark Francis, and then when she was in her confessional, it was like a completely different accent. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's her from her time when she was living in Haiti or America, blah, blah, blah. But I get it. 25 years living in London, I will have an English accent. I'm giving you the heads up now. I will have an English accent. Buckle up. Cupid says, okay, Moni Love. Oh, like Moni Love. Moni Love, though. Wait, hold on. Moni Love, isn't she English? Don't tell me I've been thinking that she isn't this entire time. All right. Exactly. RC says, Kimmy is a mean girl. Margot keeps it real. I like her. I don't know if I believe that Margot 100% keeps it real, but I get why you think she keeps it real. I do believe the rumor about Margot not being the same Margot that people knew of her a few years ago. Exactly. Cupid says, yeah, but her accent changes a lot, right? Kimmy's accent changes a lot. Maddie says, very Madonna. Yeah, because Madonna, when she was living, I get it. I told you, for those that remember when I was in London, I said, if I stay here any longer, I'm going to be like, chip, chip, cheerio. Okay. Chip, chip, cheerio. Hold on. Rochelle says, Kempire, please do not have the fake Madonna and Dorit accent. Here's the difference, though. I'm of Jamaican descent, okay? And you know how colonizers are. It's an influence. So there are some English words that I completely understand and you hear in patois and things like that. So I feel entitled to have an accent. All right? Exactly. Lady says, yes, Moni Love is British. All right, don't play with us. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I know Moni Love is actually British. Don't be trying to take Moni Love's Englishness from her. Americans love an English accent because we think it's posh. We don't use the word posh, but I do. Okay. Everybody's correcting you. Moni Love is English. The kitty says, Ken, please. What? All right. Let me move on because I have a movie date. Yes, movie date. I'm going to the movies after this. Okay? An early movie because, you know, I almost tempted. I'm going to speak like this for the rest of the live. I almost tempted to go to a later movie this evening. However, I said, no, I much prefer to be home by that time and not out in these streets. Even though here in New York City, it is quite warm today. Not as warm as I would like it to be, but it is quite warm. Okay? Spring has sprung. Chip, chip, cheerio. All right. All right. Let me focus. Back to Ladies of London. Micah's brother, Butterface. Sorry. Great body. But when I finally got to see his face, when we saw him without the hat and stuff like that, I was like, oh, never mind. But the body? I like Micah. I'm sorry. Why'd I have to go there? Princess Gemini says, you can't keep this up the whole live. Oh, really? Are you challenging me, Princess Gemini? Are you challenging me? Kendra says, not you sounding like Dorito. Excuse me. How dare you? How dare you? All right. Margot. Okay, so Micah's brother there. She's helping train the ladies. Fun, whatever. Who cares? Micah's a sweet woman. I like Micah. Micah, you know, she's there. Too many M's, though. There are way too many M's names in this reboot. Okay, so Martha says that Mark is playing for the laugh. I love the way that Martha speaks, and I like the way that Mark speaks because it's sort of like a throwback to Downton Abbey. I love that type of English. You know what I mean? She's like, he's playing for the laugh. I'm like, oh, yes. Okay. Yes, more terms like this. So she says that so she's downplaying Mark Francis and his behavior and things like that. Okay. Oh, Winter says, I like Micah too, but her husband doesn't. Because her husband's not there. But her husband was there for her birthday, for her actual birthday. Okay. I don't know. Do y'all think that? I feel like people have been saying that about Michael's husband. Oh, wait. Are you talking about Margot's husband? Hold on. No, you said Micah. Margot's husband, we finally get to meet this week. When she said Middle Eastern, I was thinking like he's more American than yes, he's Middle Eastern, but you get what I'm saying? Like he's more Americanized. All right. What else happens in this episode that I wanted to talk about? Oh, so Margot during this episode says that Mark is insecure and that he's desperate for everyone to like him. Hands down, that was the perfect explanation and description of Mark Francis. It's very clear, right? Are any of us thinking to ourselves that Mark is secure at all? I don't think he's secure at all. He definitely reeks of insecurity. But he actually mentions it, and based on the preview for Ladies of London's next episode, he brings up again, he's like talking about being bullied for like 20 years. So now he's turned into the mean girl. And that happens a lot, where someone was bullied and made fun of, then they turn into the bully. And that's the vibe I'm getting from Mark Francis. Is that now he's the bully, and that's why he's aligned himself with someone like Emma. But Emma's not a bully. However, be mindful. I'm not saying that Emma is, but be mindful of the people that align themselves with people like Mark Francis, because they want to come off posh and demure and innocent and like, I would never talk that way about anyone. However, they have Mark Francis. Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine has Dr. Heavenly as her pit bull. it wouldn't surprise me if we see that later on that Mark Francis is Emma's, attack dog. Just saying, I like Emma, kinda, sort of. Mark Francis perched his lips to say that Beyonce's live show was underwhelming.
Lies! The lies!
And I'm just going to say this. Between the things that he said about Meghan Markle and now Beyonce, it already tells me who he is. He's someone that doesn't have taste. We could already tell from his apartment, but that just solidified it for me. And y'all know I'm not a Beehive stan like that. However, one thing I'm never going to take away from Beyonce is the woman is talented and she puts on one hell of a show. Have I seen her in person? No, but I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos. And I've seen the live performances over the years. One thing we're not going to do, sir, is say that Beyonce was underwhelming. Sir, have several seats. Several seats. Shimmer says Mark sounds like a Swiftie. Now that's underwhelming. Amanda says that his apartment is gaudy. It's so gaudy. I don't mind it. It just wouldn't be my personal style. Janelle, are you telling us something? Janelle says, when I move to London, I'm going to sound crazy with my southern twang and my faux English accent. But hey, at least it'll be funny. I do say certain words with a New York accent, so my accent will be wild. Because you've been living here in New York and she's from Florida. Janelle, I'm here for it. And then you're going to be like, bonjour. Amelia says that Beyonce's pregnant. No, she's not. She's got an album to put out. Look, everyone's speculating. Beyonce does this every time, y'all, right before an album. She enjoys her life. She eats all the things. And then she gets snatched when she launches the tour. So Beyonce, I don't believe is pregnant. Okay, Beyonce is also a woman of a particular age. And I'm not saying that she can't have any because she is Beyonce. But no, I don't think Beyonce's pregnant. That's a rumor because, Beyonce recently had a sacred event, which I wasn't invited to. Kempire, would you have gone? Probably not. No, if Beyonce invited me to Paris to be a part of the sacred event where I have no hair, I probably would have went just because it's Paris. If it was here in New York, I probably would have went just because it's close. Just saying. Okay. All right. Shout out to Beyonce though. The Sacred is doing very, very well. Okay. Winter says Beyonce removes ribs right before a tour. Maybe. Amara says she doesn't want no more kids. Are you speaking as from a Virgo point of view? I know you're not a Virgo though, right, Amaris? All right. Miss Miller said, I would go, hell yeah. We know you would. Okay. Bossy says Beyonce is pregnant. I don't care what anyone says. You hear it. You heard it here first. Well, maybe you're right. So does that mean part 3 is on hold? Remember, she's one of the co-chairs for the Met Gala next month. Okay. Oh, Kai, I forgot to mention this. I'm going to mention this after I'm done talking about Ladies of London. Thank you for the reminder. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Friday Live. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. You can also hear a cleaned up, edited version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. So if you don't want to hear the ums, ahs, has, blah, 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 be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. But we also put special episodes, and I'm going to drop a special episode on the podcast between now and the weekend. So stay tuned for that. What's going on, Moira? All right, moving on. What else happened in this episode? So the big fight on Ladies of London was between Margot and Margot and Mark Francis. And Mark Francis at Micah's birthday party, he was like, I'm not trying to have this conversation. This is someone's birthday. I don't know if he was being respectful of Micah's birthday, or is he just not equipped to be confronted? I don't know. Part of me feels like he's not equipped. Because Margot does have a very, I don't think she's going to back down. But I do feel like these two need to just battle it out one time. But who knows? All right. Moving on from there. What else happened in this episode? So Margot's like, Mark is a people pleaser. So if people are not happy with him, he will stop. He will stop being a little B word. That's what she said. She also said that he's a liar and a psychopath. I can see the little psychopath element to Mark Francis. I keep telling you, there's something about Mark Francis. Yes, he's able to present a certain way on television, but I do feel like there's something a little bit more sinister behind the scenes. Like I don't feel like we're getting the real Mark Francis, but I can appreciate the reality TV version of him, but that will get tired after a while. I think we're going to get to know a little bit more about him next week when he talks about how he was bullied over the years and things like that. So many of you said that he was disowned, but I don't know. He does talk about his father. He's busy shopping with he's bidding at these auction houses. He said, this is how he grew up. He grew up with parents that shopped all the time, and he grew up in auction houses. So he's following this auction, but he's saying he's using this as a way to distract him because his father's in the hospital, and his father's like 80 years old. There's more to Mark Francis, but we're watching an edited show. We're watching a reality show. This is the first season. You can only get so much from each character. I do feel like they need to keep these seasons short. Like next season, we don't need, 16, 17 episodes. This season, I think we're going to get 10 episodes. I don't think they needed 10 episodes, to be honest. My favorite part of Ladies of London this week was seeing Martha on the horse. First of all, they were playing polo. None of them could play polo. It was funny to watch. However, Martha, she talked about having horses over the years, and she has a horse right now, Daphne, that she can't ride and she hasn't gone to see because she can't afford it. She's renting out the horse. But she loved being on the horse, even though she's not used to playing polo. But she loved it. For a moment there, she goes and she just rides the horse, and she just seemed so happy. And her friend Kimmy and everyone's watching her. It's like, you look so beautiful on the horse. You seem so happy on the horse. And she said she felt so free. I can imagine being on. I've never rode a horse before, but I can imagine that feeling free, just like the galloping of a horse, and you just like. So for her, that was such a moment for her, and she felt so grateful to Micah for having this event. Martha is the heart of the show. She's my favorite. I enjoy Kimmy. I enjoy Mark Francis. Who else do I enjoy on the show? That's about it. Like when it comes to like the entertainment value, those are the two that I enjoy the most. Everyone else, they're okay, but again, we don't need everyone else to be over the top. Okay. Thank you, guys. Guys, we're almost at 300 likes. If you're just joining us, this is our Friday live. We were just talking about Ladies of London. I'm gonna move on because I have plenty of other things to talk about, but I wanted to kind of go back to some of the hot topics. I saw that Usher and Chris Brown have announced the R&B tour. I heard rumors about this tour happening, and now earlier today they confirmed via a video, a really cool video of Usher and Chris Brown announcing this R&B tour. The R is for Raymond, Usher's last name. The B is for Brown, Chris Brown's last name. And they just announced their joint tour. So thank you, Kai, for reminding me. Are you guys going? Is it going to be like a stadium tour? Because between both of them, and honestly, it should be a stadium tour because Chris Brown just did a stadium tour. So I just can't see anything less. Okay, y'all said I'm good. Some of y'all are saying no, but I saw a lot of other people saying that they're going. I won't be going. I'm just saying. If I'm not going to Beyonce, y'all think I'm going? Come on. If I had to choose between the two tours, I would be going to Beyonce. And if I haven't gone to Beyonce, then I'm not going to this. Okay. There's a lot of people in the chat saying no. I'm actually surprised. We got one yes. Mikey said I'm going. All right. A lot of Vicky says I'm gonna. All right. I don't think that they will be hurting for ticket sales, though, to be honest with you. Okay. Coco says I only had B money. Because that's the thing, y'all. Well, no, I think you'll have time because if Beyonce launches a new project in May, the tour's not going to happen this summer. The tour's going to happen next summer, right? That's how it works with the rollout for her. So we shall see. The Dan Talk says I don't like women attackers. I'm telling you, well, that didn't stop his stadium tour. Yeah, I'm just here to bring y'all the news, okay? Okay. Singer DST says, no tours for me this year. Why is that? Are we on a budget this year? I mean, I have no plans to go see anyone this year. It depends. It depends. If Beyonce announces an arena tour, I'm there. I'm there. Beyonce announces an arena tour. No, I will go see Brandy if she comes to Vegas. I will go see Brandy in Vegas. That's it. Okay. Tiffany says, depending on the price. Depending on the price. All right. Was there anything else that I wanted to mention before we move on? I wrote quite a few notes in regards to this. In regards to the whatchamacallit, Ladies of London, but it's okay. I feel like I took the notes just in case I wanted to talk about those things, but there wasn't a lot to say. To see. Reese says, I'm seeing Jay-Z. I mean, speaking of women attackers, I'm just saying. Just saying. I mean, this whole video. There's a whole video. All right, let's move on. But before we move on, today's brought to you by our friends over at Bask Lather. I am always so excited when I can collaborate with a brand, first of all, that's Black owned, but also something that I know you all can benefit from and will love. That's why today's live is brought to you by our friends over at Bask Lather. So let me tell you a little bit about Bask Lather and how it even all began. As I mentioned to you before, it's a Black-owned business. When a dermatologist misdiagnosed CEO Shayna's younger sister and said her hair may never grow back, the family took things into their own hands, very much like Black people always do. Today, her hair is down to her hips. Shayna and her mother researched and formulated their own scalp and hair oil to stimulate growth and retain length. And I know what you're probably thinking. Kempire, what do you know about hair? Well, I said I'm going to find a product from this company that I can use. So for those of you, shout out to the guys that follow the channel, or maybe your husbands that are just listening earshot, they have beard remedies as well. So I've been using their beard shampoo, their beard conditioner, their beard oil, their beard magic, which is going to help fill in spots. I've been using it for 3 weeks. So if you see a transformation when it comes to my beard, you know it was at the hands of Bask Lather. So there are things there for men as well. But more importantly, I know that we have a large audience of women that follow the channel. So I love when we can bring a product that's going to benefit you. Let me tell you a little bit more about Bask Lather and some of the things that they have on their website. If you're looking for something when it comes to your hair, nourish and hydrate from the inside out with 100% natural ingredients. They have a nourishing hair balm for curly or kinky hair that helps reduce hair breakage and adds shine. When used regularly, users have seen results in about 3 months. Made with ingredients that can penetrate hair strands without clogging pores. Non-greasy formulation with no petroleum or lanolin. They also have hydrating hair mist. Keep any hair type soft and shiny and hydrated. Combines aloe vera and avocado oil to reduce frizz, treat dryness, detangle, and redefine curls. And I took a look at their before and afters, and you would be amazed. From people that have alopecia to dryness of hair to length. The length, I was like, well, maybe I do need to try it. They also have before and after when it comes to thinning hair and shedding of your hair. As I said before, there are multiple before and afters for men as well. These products are for both men and women. I never bring you something here where you can't benefit or get a discount. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Bask Lather. Go to baskandlatherco.com and use code Kempire for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskandlatherco.com, code Kempire. More details on Bask Lather will be available in the description. Thanks to Bask Lather for sponsoring today's live. And we're back. Shout out to Bask Lather. More information on Bask Lather will be available in the description. Ristful says, I love Bask Lather products, especially the hair growth oil. It actually works. And you guys know I've been using it on my beard. I'm giving it 3 months. So far, I think it's almost a month since I've been using it. And you guys have already been talking about my beard. Moira says, I received my Bask Lather order on Wednesday. I can't wait to I can't wait to use it. Awesome. Moira, keep us posted. Island Girl says, I have to try those Bask Lather products someday. Yes, you do. This would be the time. The discount code. Crystal says, Kempire said, what is a beard if not hair? Exactly. Talia says, I'm using it now for my scalp. I'm using it now for my scalp, the stimulator, hoping for the back length. I love it. Keep us posted, Talia. Keep us posted. We want to hear about your experience. Marva, what's going on? Marva's watching on Facebook. Bree says the beard is bearding. Thank you. I didn't even put on my the balm that gives it a nice little shine to it. I'll do that later before I go to the movies. All right. Oh, I know. T Goody says my edges are growing back. You think I can? You think if I put some on my edges? Miranda says I use the edge growth holds without flaking. I love that. I love that our community has already been utilizing Bask Lather. Again, more information on Bask Lather, including a discount, especially for those of you that already use the products and maybe you want to re-up. This will be the time. Use our discount code. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, Risa says, yes, Kempire, give it 3 months and you will for sure see a difference. And you guys will see it too, because I'm always here. So you'll definitely see a difference. Right now, just take a look. I've been using it. There's a little spots that I'm working on with the beard magic, but stay tuned. You know what? Goodbye, Mr. Melon Magic. I'm gonna put you on a timeout. Trini says I have PCOS. I'll check it out. Definitely check it out. All right. Let's get to Summer House, because we had some breaking news when it comes to Summer House. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to Summer House. And we will continue this conversation. I've been watching it. We talked about it on Tuesday Takeover. I'm going to continue watching. I watched this week's episode as well. So that's why I said I will talk about it during the Friday Live. I have a couple of thoughts in regards to Summer House. First of all, Mia, gorgeous. Mia, this week we learned a little bit more about her. She's one of the newbies, one of the black newbies on this show. We learned that she lost her father at 22 to cancer. She lost her mother recently as well. So, and she said her mother was her best friend. So I already have like a soft spot in my heart for Mia. But she has an issue with her boyfriend being out of town all the time. And she gave him a contract, like you have to be in town a certain amount of, you can't be out of town for too long. And then the man came into town for Lindsay's housewarming party. And I said, he might be a very nice guy. And look, at the end of the day, looks should not be the only factor. I said, Mia's gorgeous. Mia's another, like all the black people on this show are gorgeous. KJ, Ciara, Mia, all of them are good looking, not an ugly one in the bunch. Okay, just saying. I get why they were cast. Good looking, all right? But when I saw Mia's boyfriend, I said, oh. But I've said this about women. Women are not superficial like that. Women will look past, like they will date. They will date whatever, okay? Not whatever, but you get what I'm saying. Like looks aren't the top of a lot of ladies' lists. But I was like, Mia. And here's the thing. Despite the looks, despite her boyfriend's looks, she's having issues with him being in town and spending time with her. If I had a girlfriend or partner that looked like Mia, aren't you going to move? I honestly believe, first of all, let me finish my sentence. Aren't you going to move heaven and earth to be with that person? And I believe when you're really interested in someone, you are showing up. Yes, I get it. I'm a person that works hard, but I've told you guys this before. The minute I find my person, I'm prioritizing my person and my relationship over work. Yes, I'm going to still work, but I'm coming to town. All right? I'm showing up. What do you want from me? I'm showing up. Just saying. Real House Husband says women can always fix up a man and make a man. You right. Oh, okay. See, Anthony said, okay, Kempire, glad I wasn't the only one. I had to say it. Especially because there are certain issues that are coming up. And I agree, OMG Steph. She says, looks aren't everything as long as they are a good person who loves you and supports you. And that's where I was like, you know what? And you ain't good looking? Because that's the thing. She's saying that he's not coming to town. He's not always there. Will it be like this when she decides to have children? I don't know if I agree with her when she says that she feels like a baby will heal her. And I get it because she says she doesn't feel tethered to this world anymore now that she lost her mom. I've heard so many people that have lost a parent say the same thing. But I don't think this is the one, y'all. Because he's not showing up already. You can't have a baby with a man that's not showing up for you. Talia says Mia's boyfriend was hard to look at. Damn, not hard to look at. Come on. Hopefully his personality is better. Well, we got to meet him during this, and I'm not saying he needs to have this big personality. I didn't get much from what we saw in the episode, but again, we're watching an edited show. I'm my own stylist says he might be loaded, but is that enough? Is that enough? I don't know. And Mia is a beautiful woman, beautiful, smart. She has her own money. I don't know, Mia, girl. I'll be your wingman. I'm in New York too, girl. Can find you a man in New York. But maybe she puts her foot down. Okay, maybe. All right, Foxy says she deserves better. Teresa, he's no eye candy. But I'm okay with him not being eye candy if there weren't some other issues about time. You know what I mean? Ashley says, or good in bed. Well, we didn't ask her that. That'll be my next question. That's girl talk. Mia, when we go out and we having girl, I'm like, well, is he good in bed? Okay, so you are dematized. You're dematized. That's what it is. In the pockets or pants. You well, all right. Oh my gosh. Damn. Some of you guys are a lot in the chat. Amina says I finally caught it live. We'll still be a part of the replay crew, but yay. Hey, Amina. Okay. Let me move on from there. So I just had to say that. Can we talk about Dara? I already told you my red flags are going up when it comes to Dara. I'm also a little protective of KJ. I like KJ a lot. KJ and Dara, they're going full steam ahead already. I don't think they're in a relationship, but he got in his feelings hearing her that she might have been in Ben's room for an hour. He was already in his feelings about that. And they were just talking. It's only been like a couple of weeks. So I don't think he has a right to be in his feelings. But the fact that she's downplaying it and making it seem like, oh, no, they weren't like flirting. Just own it. You were flirting. It was filmed. Own it. Dara reminds me of Amir's girlfriend. And it's not just because they kind of look like each other. It's the way that she's maneuvering this. Exactly. Fox says Dara is sneaky. I don't know about Dara, y'all, especially when it comes to our boy KJ. We got to protect KJ because I feel like KJ is genuine. I don't think he's an F boy. I don't think he's a Y. No, he was given YN at that party, his whole get up, but he's not a YN. He's not a YN. So I'm a little protective of KJ, even though I know I just started watching, but he just got on the show. I'm protective of KJ. All right. Oh, damn. Shimmer says apparently they are going strong and have said I love you to each other now. I don't know about Dara, y'all. I don't know about her. There's something about her. It's giving Amir from Summer House Martha's Vineyard's girlfriend. Something about it. So she confronted Bailey about telling the people about her spending time in Ben's room. Ben's a little fishy too. Ben is a little F-boy himself. And I can see why he was flirting with Dara. He has a type. Bailey, you're not his type. He doesn't like blonde. He likes a brunette with a little melanin. Yeah, and you see how close he gets with Ciara. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have this thing with Ciara, with the other girl. He probably would have went for Ciara at some particular point. He like a girl with a little melanin, but also he liked Amanda. I don't know. How did Amanda forget Kyle's birthday? This is typical unhealed Leo behavior. It'd be different if her birthday was months ago. They're both Leos. So this is their season. But this is typical unhealed Leo behavior. You know what I mean? How did you forget your husband's birthday? Look, Kyle is trash. Kyle has not been a great husband. I don't think she's a great wife either. And especially with what we're knowing now. Sidebar, speaking of Amanda. So Amanda took to social media, and I told you, if you missed the video that I did, that behind the scenes, Bravo is telling people not to say anything. I heard that Ciara was told not to say anything on social media about Amanda because they're worried about her mental health. So Amanda has broke her silence on Instagram story. I saw when she posted it. I don't follow her, but immediately I was like, oh. So she posted this cute photo of her dog because, you know, people want to throw up their dog so we can feel sorry for her. All right. So Amanda says this in her Instagram post because she's going to, you know, she knows how people are going to react to anything that she does right now. She says, hi, guys. I'll keep this short and sweet. And then like 3 paragraphs later. I've obviously been MIA, but I wanted to come back on and say that I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually. Ciara, why can't you say her name? You're a terrible person. I'm sorry. What? Why can't you say her name? I don't get that. She's just like, I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually. For the sake of my mental health. See, this is the thing. And then y'all know I'm an advocate for mental health, going to therapy, all of that. Get you a therapist, period. I don't like when I feel like people are weaponizing it. And I don't think people should be bullying her. I don't think people should be threatening her life on social media or anything like that, or in her comment section. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this whole, my mental health. For the sake of my mental health, I'm going to try and start living life with some sense of normalcy. Okay. She says, if you see me out or posting online, please know that this still weighs very heavily on me. She probably has like a brand deal coming up. So this is the damage control beforehand. I'm not ignoring what's happened or what's unfolded. I'll be at the reunion and we'll be addressing any and all questions honestly and directly there. Girl. Girl. Look, based off my cliff notes of you guys updating me on what's been happening over the years that she's been dealing with Kyle and his terrible behavior and cheating on her for years, and then she even married the man. For years, he's been doing this since season 1. Did she play the long game? Because everyone has said that she's been boring. The only reason why she's still on the show is because of Kyle. Did she play the long game? Is that the reason why she stayed in this relationship, so that she could stay on reality television, so she could make a buck? So that she could be, famous? Is that the reason? Because the minute she leaves Kyle, or is that why she decided to get with Wes? Because this is their end all be all. What exactly is Amanda going to do? Kyle already says she's lazy.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
And he meant that. Kyle meant that. Look, he meant that. She played the long game. That's what I'm feeling like, because she doesn't have a personality. She's not very interesting. A lot of you have said that. Amara says Amanda's like watching paint dry. So now I'm trying to think. It's not that she's just insecure, and that's why she stayed in this relationship with Kyle. She stayed in this relationship with Kyle partially probably because she's insecure, but also I'm going to try and stay on this show. Okay. Oh, Miss Brooklyn Diamond said Amanda connived her way on the show. Kyle didn't really want to marry her, and the show and that shows from season 1. I believe it. The more I see this play out, I'm just like, did she play the long game? Oh, wait. All right. That's what I'm thinking. So this is Amanda's recent statement. This is literally maybe an hour ago. She posted a statement. As you can see, I got the screenshot 13 minutes in. Not me getting the screenshot. I'm in. I'm invested. You know who else is invested? And she doesn't even watch the show? Garcelle Bouvet. You know, our former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Garcelle Bouvet was asked about Summer House, and this is what she had to say. I love Garcelle because Garcelle has been saying what we've been saying. This is a girl's girl. Garcelle does not need to say anything about this, but she uses her power and influence and moment to be a girl's girl. A girl's girl doesn't say that she's a girl's girl. She shows it in action. Look what Garcelle had to say on the red carpet about Ciara.
You've been locked in on the Summer House drama.
I haven't been locked in, but you can't get away from it.
I mean, the second I log on to any application,
Girl code.
Yeah.
Period.
So you're Team Ciara like the rest of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you guys friendly at all?
No, I don't know her. I mean, I haven't watched the show, but just being a girl and having girl code, yeah.
It can almost inspire you to watch the show, maybe.
Beautiful. She's going to be just fine. I just want her to get the same treatment as...
I literally said if she doesn't have a star...
Did y'all see her face? Did y'all see her face? That is the black mama face. Like, all the black people understood that face. I don't know if this young lady that's interviewing her from E! understood the face, but girls will say, girl code. She's just like, I hope that Ciara gets the same treatment. Look, same treatment as Ariana. And look, the Bravo universe, I always tell you, it's a toxic place and it's a little MAGA. And I don't mean that literally, like they're Trump supporting. And I'm not saying that. Well, some of them are. It has that essence. It has some of those fundamentals. Read between the lines in the Bravo universe. And everyone's saying, like, oh, why are you guys comparing it to Ariana? They were in a relationship for a very long time, blah, 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 blah. We're talking about betrayal. We know it's not the exact same thing. We're talking about the betrayal here, the breakdown of a friendship here. This is what we're talking about. And yes, Ciara deserves it all. She deserves the same way they put all of this, especially because this scandal is going to bring millions and millions of dollars to the network. So give Ciara some of those things. Well, I heard from very reliable sources, Ciara is weighing a lot of different options, including shows. That's what I've heard. Some very reliable sources told me. Okay? Let me play this back for you again.
Well, she's going to be just fine. I just want her to get the same treatment as...
I literally said if she doesn't have a starring role on Broadway, she's not hosting the
show.
She better host the next Love Game.
Yeah, shout out to CC Loves You on Instagram. Be sure to follow her. She got us that clip. I agree with Garcelle. She's like, she better get the same treatment, the same opportunities. I'm not worried about Ciara. Ciara is smart. Ciara is very smart, and that was exhibited in this week's episode when she was talking with her mom and how she brought her family out. Even when I talked about how smart she was on X, the Bravo universe were trying to be like, "Oh, she did that sneakily. She didn't contact her father and da 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 da." She hasn't spoken to her father in 4 years. She wanted to buy this family home. She was smart about it. She got a real estate agent. She got an attorney to create a LLC and a trust. And then she had the real estate agent go to court to do the whole bidding. They rejected her first offer. She's smart. Look, even if they don't feature it on Summer House, can we just do like a 4-part episode of seeing her renovate this? And maybe not even a 4-part, maybe an 8-part episode of her renovating this house, because I want to see this makeover, because it's going to be a tremendous makeover. She's going to bring this back into 2026, this home. But this home has been in her family. She talked about her grandparents keeping this home for a very long time. She wants to raise her family. She wants her mother to come there and play with her grandbabies there. She said that her grandfather really wanted to have ownership for him and for his kids. So he bought up houses on that block and gave it to the kids, but the kids ended up selling it, which, it happens. And I guess the father was selling this property and she was like, I want it, but she hadn't talked to her father in 4 years. So she got it. The more that I'm learning about these people and their astrological signs, because, we love to talk astrological signs here. The more I'm learning about these people, specifically Ciara, her being a Capricorn, I was like, it tracks. She's smart. She's no dummy. So congrats to Ciara. I cannot wait to see what this house turns into, because we love a good home renovation. We love, and I could see them maybe for Summer House, everyone coming there and doing some sort of, party housewarming or something like that. I'm glad they even included it in the episode. I'm right, Ciara. I see you, girl. I don't see you with this whole West situation. This week's episode, we didn't see much of that. But next week's episode, she gonna get in her feelings seeing West flirt with somebody else? I said this week on Tuesday Takeover that I feel like West showing interest in Ciara was him trying to block Jesse from trying to pursue. That's my opinion. The minute Jesse said, "Would you be mad if I made out with Ciara?" That's when all of a sudden he wants to start touching her arm and doing these things. I think he was trying to block. He wants to have it all. He's such a loser. I can't. Look, I'm sorry. Ben's girlfriend. Oh, no, that's not his girlfriend. Someone that he's interested in. She said, "I love you." What is wrong with her? She a little less than smart. Because she's, she's a, what's the word? She is a little, look, a little, okay, just not all there. So she's talking to everyone and she's having a good time. And all of a sudden she decides to talk to Amanda about their relationship. And it's very clear that Ben has been having, some pillow talk with her and telling about the relationship. But it's one thing to have, that's why I say she's less than smart. It's one thing to have pillow talk with your partner about people in your friend group, but this is your first time meeting Amanda and you're talking about her marriage? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? Why are you talking about her marriage to her? She's like, if it doesn't work, you need to find someone that you don't know her like that. You don't know her like that to say anything like this. Like, what is going on here? Oh, the girls club said Ben's girlfriend was giving fan. Are they together? I don't know. So Amanda says that, so apparently Ben has been talking about, our relationship to this woman, like journaling and talking about our relationship. Based on the preview, it seems as if Ben was trying to sleep with Amanda when they were in Italy and she played it up, just because, everyone likes attention. Did y'all see that clip? I'm like, oh gosh. I already knew when they were all in the, skinny dipping together. I was like, okay. And that's why some people downplay what's happening between Wes, Amanda, and Ciara, because they're all so flirtatious with each other in this house. Yeah, but Amanda's married. There's a difference here. Amanda is married. But okay. All right. What else did I want to talk about from this week's episode of Summer House? Guys, you're just joining us. We are talking about some of the updates. Yeah, we've been following, and I'm going to follow until the reunion. We'll be including it every time we go live. So stay tuned. There's always so much more coming out. So this week we had even Garcelle, who doesn't even watch the show, weigh in regards to this. And Amanda just broke her silence again on social media with this statement, saying that I'm assuming that she probably has something that she's going to be posting, but she said at the reunion she will be addressing everything. Ciara, do not let because right now I feel like the network has their foot on your neck. I do. So that's why you're not hearing Ciara say anything, because I'm sure she probably wants to say anything, but the network is like, for her mental health, don't say anything. And they're telling other Bravo celebrities the same thing. Not to say anything, even if they're not even on the show. They don't want to rile up the fans and things like that. And you remember what Candace said, they take stuff out of your check. So Ciara's like, I'm not going to, let them garnish my wages because I like to post or said something on social media. You may have seen Ciara was on the red carpet for Euphoria season 3 premiere, and which comes out on Sunday. Are we watching? I can't wait to see the drama. I'm gonna see that, and I can't wait to see You, Me, and Tuscany. That's all out this weekend. Just saying. The drama came out last weekend and already made back their money. Back to Ciara. She was on the red carpet for Euphoria 3, season 3, and she was like, "We're thriving." When asked about how she's doing, she says, "We're thriving." Jen says, "What about Ciara's mental health?" They don't care about her mental health. And y'all can read between the lines. Just saying. They don't care about her mental health. All right. So that's my thoughts on Summer House. All right. Summer House. I'll add the timestamps, guys, later. Okay. As I'm doing that, thank you so much, Jackie, for the super chat. Jackie says Amanda is a sorry individual. That's probably the best way to sum it up. Amanda is a sorry individual. Talia says, yeah, it was weird Wes walking into the bathroom on Amanda with such ease. Because the rumor is that this affair started before they started filming this season. Like June. You know what I mean? I agree, Millie. Millie says, you need to be getting a check from all these streaming platforms, Kemp. Well, guess what? One of them will be writing a check soon. Stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned. Because Millie just reminded me. I was like, oh, no. We got a little something coming. Stay tuned next week. We got a little something coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, one of these streaming platforms wrote the check. Okay. OMG Steph, I did see that. I wasn't going to cover it because I only want to cover like we actually have a finalization at this particular point. OMG Steph says, Kempire, did you see Andy Cohen filed a motion to dismiss Leah's lawsuit and reference Nene's claims against him? In regards to him being a cokehead? Yeah. I saw that. All right. Moving on. Where do I want to go next? Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta's taglines came out this afternoon. So I want to get into that. But first, let me talk about what Phaedra said about K. Michelle. So Us Weekly wrote this in regards to an interview that they did with Phaedra, because they're all in the promo trail. Sidebar, did you guys see the ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta's premiere episode? It was like 600 and something thousand. A lot of people are saying, ooh, it's low. It is low. I will say that this, though, when you look at Beverly Hills ratings and what they've been averaging, it's somewhere a little like 700 and something thousand. So, and even their first episode was pretty low too. It was also Easter Sunday. Look, I told you that'd be a good excuse. So it was pretty low. This is what Us Weekly is reporting in regards to their interview with Phaedra and what she had to say about K. Michelle. They say K. Michelle is absolutely hilarious. After we've seen all of these singers, everyone wants to sing. Now we got one that's really a highly acclaimed singer with Grammys and real credits and really awesome talent. She definitely clears the room with her wonderful voice and all of her accomplishments. So everyone has been reacting. What you mean K. Michelle is the only acclaimed singer on RHOA? Look, maybe she meant this season. Because everyone was like, wait a minute. Kandi has a Grammy. K. Michelle doesn't have a Grammy, y'all. She does not have a Grammy. And y'all know I love me some K. Michelle as a musician, but she doesn't have a Grammy. So Phaedra just says anything without the facts. And that's an attorney. Can you imagine? You're like, you're a whole attorney. Like, get your facts straight. She's like, we have a highly acclaimed singer with Grammys. Not Grammy, Grammys. No, she doesn't. She didn't even have one. But you know who has a Grammy and multiple nominations? Kandi. So people immediately were coming to Kandi's defense. Like, what does she mean? What does she mean? They haven't had a highly acclaimed singer. Kandi, highly acclaimed singer from Escape, and also songwriter. The facts are the facts, okay? All right. And then it's so funny because I commented on this on one of the blogs, and someone added me and said, Kandi has a Grammy for writing, not singing. So I replied back to them. I was like, you do know that K. Michelle doesn't even have a Grammy. And this is not to pit K. Michelle or Kandi against each other. It's just like, no. All right. This is true. Singer DST said there are a lot of talented singers without a Grammy. Like Mariah Carey should have more Grammys. She has a couple, but she should definitely have a lot more than she has. And she talked about that recently. Was it last year she talked about that? So anyway, who cares? I just wanted to mention it since we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Phaedra had that to say about K. Michelle. So she really likes K. Michelle this season. And she says that she's absolutely hilarious. She says, you know, after we've seen all these singers, everyone wants to sing. Now we've got one that's a really highly acclaimed singer with Grammys and real credits and really awesome talent. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Tracy says, Kempire, you don't know how happy I am you're covering Summer House. This is my persona crossover. A lot of people have told me this. I can't promise you guys I'll be recapping season 11. Sorry. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Okay, look, the Mellow React says, I honestly don't think Phaedra is worried about Kandi laughing out loud. She just says the first thing that comes to her head, which is also surprising to me as an attorney. Usually attorneys, well, good ones, are more measured with things that they say. Yes, Teresa, we saw that. We saw the footage. Fun fact, Mariah Carey was at church on Easter Sunday. She was. Did you guys also see her iconic New York City penthouse she's put up for sale for $27 million? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Ricky says, does Faye have a storyline? We'll have to wait and see. She probably doesn't. All right. She probably doesn't. All right. Let me move on. Let's get to these taglines. So the taglines for season 17 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta have been revealed. I will play the audio at one particular point because for me, the audio will change how you feel about it, but we'll first read them, okay? And you guys will let me know in the chat from 1 to 10 how you would rate them. And if you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know how you would rate the taglines for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the first tagline is from Angela Oakley. She says, in a field full of players, I always run it back. Okay. I like this one. This is not bad. In a field full of players, I always run it back. And I felt like after her tagline I loved her tagline from last season, but I felt like I had to say it a few times before I got into it. So she said, in a field full of players, I always run it back. How would you guys rate this from 1 to 10? I'm going to give this an 8. I think this was good. In a field full of players, I always run it back. Okay. All right. I'm going to give that an 8. Portia says, I've lived many lives and all of them have been fabulous. I like this one. This is not bad. Oh wait, sidebar guys. You know, I don't really check the comments that often, but one of the videos that I did, someone said, I forgot what they said exactly because it was like a long dissertation. Okay. However, someone said that I was a big Portia stan. What?
Lies! The lies!
They said I was a big Portia stan. Wait, who or where? Who or where? When was I a big Portia stan? Ever. Okay. Back to Portia and her tagline. How would you guys rate her tagline? I've lived many lives and all of them have been fabulous. I like this one. Cynthia says 0 for Portia. Well, damn. K-Baby gave it a 5. Not a -5. Wow. I thought this was good. I've lived many lives and all of them have been fabulous. It really is true. And it already tells you what kind of season she's going to have. I'm going to give this a 8.5. I'm going to give it 8.5. K. Michelle's tagline. I don't need any background singers. It's always my show. Well, she says, I don't need any background singers. It's always my show. And when you think about what's already playing out with her beef with Drew, I feel like it's a play on that. I don't need any background singers. It's always my show. And the fact that this is already seemingly like her show, like her coming onto this show, everyone's talking about her. And you guys may have seen the Jason Lee interview that she did. There's so much that's coming out from it. We did a couple of videos already talking about some of the things that's coming out from it. I like this. She said, I don't need any background singers. It's always my show. I'm going to give this a 9. I think this is strong. All right. Shamia. Shamia says, I've been loyal to a fault, and now it's time to have my own back. No. I do see people are having fun with her confessional where she was miming her argument with Portia. So people are having fun with that, and people are saying it's iconic. Okay, y'all. Please understand, I'm always going to give Shamia credit when credit is due. I thought it was funny. It did go on a little longer than it should have. All right? Okay. Shamia, I've been loyal to a fault, and now it's time to have my own back. How would you rate that? I don't like it. If it started off strong, I've been loyal to a fault, we can agree. And now it's time to have my own back. Honestly, if she shows behavior where she really is having her own back this season, then I'll be like, okay, you know what? You lived up to your tagline. But right now, I'm giving you a 5. All right, let's see what Drew has. And mind you, I have not read these taglines. I'm giving you my fresh thoughts right now. And maybe later I'll change my mind. Drew says, if you cast me in your drama, I only accept leading roles. Oh, I kind of like this. If you cast me in your drama, I only accept leading roles. That's Drew Sidora's tagline. I'm going to give this a 9 too. I think this is good. If you cast me in your drama, I only accept leading roles. It also makes me wonder what were the other taglines that were being considered. Because remember, they don't choose them. They can give to production ones that they would possibly want. However, they don't get to choose them. So they probably find out the same time as you and I find out. I'm going to give this a 9. I like it. Let's see Pinky's. Pinky says, while you're busy beefing, I stay vegan. Remember, her whole business is vegan. While you're busy beefing, I stay vegan. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. I'm going to give it a 6. But I don't love it. While you're busy beefing, I stay vegan. All right. Kelly says, I'm short, seasoned, and always a full course meal. Not bad. I don't hate it. I'm short, seasoned, and always a full course meal. I mean, it's playing off of her being short, meaning that she's older, meaning the season, but she also owns a business that's in the restaurant business. And that she says, and I'm always a full course meal. This is not bad. I'm going to give this an 8. I don't think this is bad because it actually makes sense. How would you guys rate it? That was Kelly's tagline. Last and definitely least, Phaedra. Phaedra says, in a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. Huh? In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. Okay. No, okay, now I have to. Sometimes you got to read these over and over again. In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. I hate the fact that they even gave her this title because she's gonna run with it. How would you guys rate Phaedra's tagline? In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. I mean, the more I say it, the more I like it. To be honest. In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. I'm going to give this an 8.5. I would have given it a 9 if I didn't have to kind of keep saying it to convince myself. Hold on. What is... Ooh, hold on. I didn't see this. Let me go to TMZ. Not primary custody. Hold on. Let me see. Ooh, child. Not Drew Sidora ordered to vacate a Georgia mansion. We got breaking news, y'all. And we were just talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So those are the taglines. Be sure to let us know how you guys are rated. Drew Sidora. Hold on, wait a minute. According to TMZ, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Drew Sidora was ordered to vacate the Georgia home she shares with estranged husband Ralph Pittman, TMZ has learned. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Drew must be out of the home by May 31st. The judge said due to the current financial circumstances of the parties. Until Drew leaves the home, they will continue splitting the expenses. Drew and Ralph will share joint legal custody of their kids. Ralph, who currently lives in the basement of the home, is allowed to go upstairs in the home to prepare the kids for school. Ralph was awarded primary physical custody of the kids during the school year, and Drew will have parenting time on alternating weekends starting in August. Excuse me? He was awarded, I guess maybe because he's going to be in the home and she has to move out? But how does that happen? Ralph was awarded primary physical custody of the kids during the school year, and maybe because the school is close to the home. Oh, but damn! Now you getting kicked out the house. What is going on? And Drew will have parenting time on alternating weekends starting in August. The decision came after claims their kids had excessive absences from school while in Drew's custody. Drew, you busy fighting online with K. Michelle. You got bigger fish to fry. The decision came after claims their kids had excessive absences from school while in Drew's custody. She previously had primary custody of the children. See, that's when these things happen, when mothers lose custody. Wow. The divorce has yet to be finalized. A rep for Drew tells TMZ this matter is still being actively litigated and is in the middle of the final trial. The second temporary order is in fact temporary and does not reflect the final outcome of the case. But Drew, we reached out to Ralph's side, who had no comment. As TMZ first reported, Drew and Ralph filed dueling divorce petitions in March of 2023. It's been 3 years since they filed for divorce. This split turned nasty with Drew claiming she needed out of the marriage due to continued blatant disrespect and mental abuse. Drew also accused Ralph of cheating on her. The Bravo star sought primary custody of the two kids while she was looking for joint custody in his papers. While he was looking for joint custody in his papers. In November of 2025, Drew claimed at BravoCon that Ralph was still living in the basement of their marital home. So she already kind of confirmed that during the premiere episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I thought that they were getting closer to this divorce being over. But to find out that, even though I do believe that this is temporary, but for her to lose primary physical custody, they still have joint legal custody in regards to making decisions when it comes to the kids. But to lose physical custody because the kids were having excessive absences, where was she living? Like, what was going on? Drew, you going over there to Kelly's restaurant to be shady. Remember she did this on the off season, going to Kelly's a restaurant that was closed, and then you making a whole video about it. You got bigger fish to fry. You can't be talking about anyone's home or business when your business at home is not in order. Like, come on, Drew. And I get it. It's probably not easy. You got multiple kids and now you're doing it on your own. I get it. But come on. Then you're not talking about you talking about going over here trying to be shady on social media towards K. Michelle and towards Kelly. You got bigger fish to fry. You just lost physical custody of your children. Like, in the words of Remy Ma, are you dumb? Sorry. You don't have any, like, I don't want to see anything on social media between you and any of these ladies, Drew, until this stuff is sorted out. There's no, like, when I thought, Drew's, posting these beautiful pictures of herself on social media and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, fine, Drew, fantastic. She clapping back. And look, she's clapping back at people coming at her. You've got bigger fish to fry. You just lost physical custody of your children due to excessive absences from school. As I said before, I understand it's not easy, especially when now you're a single parent trying to do all the things. And I know Ralph is not perfect. However, you spending too much time on social media, going to people's places of business, trying to shade them on social media. Like, come on. Frustrating. For those that just joined us, we had the breaking news that Drew lost physical custody of her kids due to excessive absences from school for the children. Drew's statement reads like this, that she issued to TMZ through a rep. This matter is still being actively litigated and is in the middle of the final trial. The second temporary order is in fact temporary and does not reflect the final outcome of the case. It says a bunch of nothing. That says a bunch of nothing, Drew. But again, I always say this. We don't like Ralph. And we were talking about this with Ashley Darby and Gullum. We were talking about this with Erica Girardi and the other one. These people get into relationships with these toxic men because on some level, they're also toxic. And there it is. And there it is. All right. So that was the breaking story. Drew, I wish you the best because I know that's not something that any parent wants, but Lord have mercy. So she also has to move out of the house by May 31st, y'all. She has to move out of that house that we've seen her filming. She's also got to move out of the house. Lord. All right. Let me say thank you. We had quite a few super chats. Cal C Teacher. Thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. We appreciate your support. You sent a couple of super chats. Thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Let me say thank you again. Thank you, Ms. Parker, for the super chat and for being a member. Ms. Parker says, this is why she can't win a case. She spews alternative facts, the lies, in regards to Phaedra and what Phaedra had to say. Thank you, Ms. Parker, for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Chef Lorraine, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Chef Lorraine says, Shamia's tagline sounds like she's butthurt. She probably is. Naza, thank you so much for the super chat. Naza says, I wonder if that's why she wanted to steal some of the stuff in the divorce case. Possibly. I think she probably also didn't want us to know how much she makes and that kind of thing. So who knows? And maybe some of the abuse and things like that. So who knows? Billy, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Billy Jean's Blast says, Drew is using her willpower for the wrong ish at the wrong time. Typical Drew. I agree. I'm all of this social media behavior and your house is not in order. Yamira, thank you so much for the super sticker. Let me shimmy for the super sticker. Okay. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Yamira. We appreciate it. And thank you for being a member. It's B703. Thank you for being Gary. Gary, thank you so much for super chat for being a member. Gary says, as someone said online, Phaedra is a shell of her former self. I agree with that. And really has no relevance without Kenya or Kandi there for her to beef with. Woo, woo, woo. You're right. And that's the thing. Like, Phaedra has always lied. From the moment we met her, she was lying. However, she's become more of a caricature of herself. We're never going to get anything real from Phaedra. And that's why I don't understand why you guys wanted her to come back on reality television, because she really has offered nothing. She's offered nothing to Married to Medicine, and watch her offer much of nothing to Real Housewives of Atlanta. But okay. Who said the prophet? Okay. Let me move on because, like I said, I am not going to be here long. All right. So we talked about Summer House. We talked about Ladies of London. All right. Let's talk about another Real Housewives show. Okay. All right. Did I talk about all the hot topics I wanted to talk about? I did. I think I did. But that was a breaking story. We didn't expect that. I'll add the timestamps later, guys, after I come back from the movies. Okay. All right, so let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Guys, are you even watching it? Are you even watching it? If you did watch it, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? I will say this, and maybe I'm grading all the Real Housewives shows on a curve because of how bad Real Housewives of New York was. I will say it's not as bad as New York. It's not as bad. They do need a bit of a shakeup, but it's not as bad as New York. Okay. The reunion looks did come out. I hope it's a 2-part reunion because it definitely does not need to be a 3-part reunion. What are we talking about for 3 parts? I would like to know. What are we talking about when it comes to 3 parts? One of the things I've mentioned also, what I've noticed is last season, and even the season before, and maybe even the season before, Beverly Hills always had more minutes than any of these other reality shows. And I'm talking about like all of them, unless it's like a bonus episode. Like it's like a, like a inflated episode. I've noticed this season though, they're getting 42 minutes like every other reality show. And they always would get like 43 minutes, 44 minutes, that kind of thing for like a regular episode. And I'm just like, oh, so they really don't have much of anything. They're really cutting back. They're really cutting back. So the reunion looks were revealed yesterday. So I said I would wait till we were live today to talk about the reunion looks. So again, you guys will be able to rate who do you think had the best looks. I do find it interesting that they put Jennifer Tilly in the middle, and she's not a full-time housewife. Don't y'all find that to be interesting? Probably because Jennifer Tilly was one of the best dressed. Jennifer Tilly, I think this is Balmain that she's wearing. And it was like a whole thing where Balmain was putting faces on the dresses and things like that. So this is custom. So that's her face on her dress. So that is a flex. Okay. So this is Jennifer. Jennifer Tilly looks great. Even though we've seen this dress before, because she's posted it on social media, we've seen this dress before. I think her hair and makeup looks great. It's giving mob wife, but like in the best way. But I think the whole theme is Italy. So for me, it's giving that. I think she looks great. I love it. It's kitschy. It's very her. I mean, I've enjoyed Jennifer. At the top of the season, I was like, Jennifer, I don't think you should have came back this season. But she's giving me these little kitschy, funny moments. In this week's episode, she's jumping in the pool with Rachel's son. So I'm like, I can appreciate Jennifer Tilly and what she's offered this season. Okay. K Baby says, I love you. Okay, guys, give me a rating. How would you guys rate Jennifer Tilly's for dress? I'm giving it a 10 because it's a flex when you have a high-end luxury designer put your face on your dress and you're able to wear it to a reunion. I love her hair. She looks great. She looks like a goddess. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to see this in motion. I want to see this in real life. She looks great. She's got the jewels. Like she's rich. That's what the thing about Jennifer Tilly that I can appreciate. She's very rich, but she doesn't give snobby. You know what I mean? I'm seeing lots of 10s. I'm seeing lots of 10s. Foxy gave it an 8+. Okay. She looks great. All right, I'm gonna give it a 10. Rachel Zoe. It's a beautiful dress. She's serving very much like what she served all season, though. It's a beautiful dress, but why are we looking at the dress from the side? And I get it. She wants to show off the back, but I'm like, another moo-moo. Another moo. Like, it's all right. How would you guys rate this look? It's all right. Oh, wait. I didn't even read who did what. Let me go back. Let me go back. Jennifer Tilly's dress, custom Balmain. Jewelry is Bulgari. She got a Bulgari ring. Bulgari bracelet, deco bracelet, diamond bracelet. Shoes are Giuseppe Zanotti. Makeup artist Ron Rumsey. Hairstylist Johnny Stunts. That is Jennifer Tilly's dress. She says, "I'm wearing a beautiful Balmain dress made specifically for me, and it has it has my face on the front of it in beads, in millions and millions of beads. The dress weighs about 30 pounds." That's what she's had to say about her dress. That's Jennifer Tilly's dress. I mean, that's great. Rachel Zoe. What does Rachel Zoe got on? Oh, Lord. Rachel Zoe. So her dress is archival, J. Mendel. Earrings are vintage Dior. Rings are David Webb and Brioni Raymond. Ring concierge. She says she's known for her incredible style, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? She says, I'm wearing a vintage black gown with a gunmetal and silver details. The finishing touch, diamonds, duh, she quipped. His Bookie Bear says that Rachel's fashions are monotonous. I agree. It's not bad, though. I have to say, she doesn't look bad. You look at this black dress. Is it black? I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful dress. The details. But again, it's giving what she's given all season. Nothing really special. But okay. Bozema St. John. I have to say, I was like, Boz, you got it here. You got it right here. She looks good. I like the hair, the makeup. The skin looks skinny-licious. The dress is by Mimi Yoba, a Ghanaian designer. The shoes are Jessica Rich. Jewelry is Shop Koi. Makeup artist is Tashala Wright. Hairstylist is Jada Blue. So in regards to her dress, she says, it's couture, made custom in Ghana by Mimi Yoba. It takes many people. I think there were 6 beaters on this dress. It takes many hours, and it was flown here by hand in its own seat, so I could wear it today. Okay. She says that my look is a love letter to Ghana, its richness, its craftsmanship, and its beauty. Ghanaian designer Mimi created this couture gown in a deep cocoa tone as a nod to Ghana, being one of the world's leading exporters of cocoa, used by some of the largest chocolatiers globally. I love the drama of the silhouette, especially the sculpture. She had a lot to say about her dress. Okay. I appreciate it, though. It's beautiful. I love the details. This you got right. This you got right, Bozema. The only thing you got right this year. Hair, makeup looks great. I like it. How would I rate it? I'm gonna give it a 9. I think this is good. Yeah, I do. I think this is good. I'm gonna give this an 8. Oh, no, a 9. I was reading someone else's. K-Baby said that she's giving it an 8. Cynthia's giving it a 10. Jessica's giving it an 8. I mean, I love the color. I love the color against her skin. I love the beading detail. I love the story behind it. Talia says, reminds me of chocolate. That was the whole point. All right. If you're part of Replay Crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts. Oh, damn. Kyle looks like she's in her lesbian era with this collar. I mean, it's not a bad dress. Let's be honest. Like, it doesn't matter if you like Kyle, you don't like Kyle. She looks okay. It's not much effort. I just wish that they would have a theme over there in the West Coast. They never have a theme on the OC. They never have a theme when it comes to Beverly Hills. This is okay. Nothing really special, but it's very Kyle. Nothing really special. Fine. It's got a black collar, white dress. It's not terrible. It's not my favorite. I'm going to give it a 7. And that might be very generous. How would you guys rate Kyle's look? Who's her dress by? Let me see. Who's her dress by? Her dress is by La Agence. Shoes of Saint Laurent. Makeup artist is Karina Morales. Hairstylist Chris Russell. She says picking her dress was a last minute decision. We could tell. It's very clean, slick, sophisticated, and chic. I don't really like frills and stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to find dresses for these reunions. All right. That's Kyle's look. That is Kyle's look. Okay, who else? Kathy Hilton, speaking of bad. Kathy's probably the worst dress. But people will say because it's Kathy, she can get away with it. I guess, but to me, she's the worst dress. Don't y'all think she's the worst dress? The dress is the Vampire's Wife. I don't know who that is, but that's the name of the dress. Vampire's Wife. Shoes are Givito Rossi. Jewelry is Kathy Hilton and Anna Zuckerman. Makeup and hairstylist Pamela Brogardi. All right. Kathy celebrated her birthday the day the reunion was filmed, so naturally she wanted her ensemble to reflect. She said, I'm going for something that's shiny and happy. Okay. I wanted to wear something I could sit in and be comfortable. Comfort comes first. You look very comfortable. Since it was her birthday, I'm going to give her a 6. Since it was her birthday when she shot this. But okay. Sutton's reunion look. Oh, Lord, Sutton. The hair looks great. Honestly, did she do something to her breast? Did she get her breast done? Did she get her breast done? It looks like she might have got her breast done, right? Is that what I'm noticing here? I don't think Sutton looks bad. I think this peach color looks good on her. Her hair looks stiff, but on point. Okay. Jersey Girl says nightgown comfortable. That's what Kathy was giving. I will say Sutton's look is a little nightgownish a little bit, but I like this color against her skin. I think she looks good. I like her hair. Who did everything? Let's see. Her dress is Paul Atto. Shoes are Dolce & Gabbana. Jewelry is Statement. Necklace, a collaborative piece by Kate McCall Design and SWD Jewelry. One of a kind ring, SW. Okay, who cares? Hair, makeup artist was Brian Mendez. Hairstylist was Melissa Brom Arevalo. The Georgia native opted for a silky peach gown that channeled the ethereal princess with calm presence. Sutton explained, I love that my dress is upcycled from another dress, so that is very exciting for me. It is in my wheelhouse for what I do, my business, so that was fun to work with the designer on that. I think she looks good. It's probably the best she's probably looked in a long time at a reunion. Right? Don't y'all agree? Look at some of her other reunion looks. This is probably the best she's looked. Did she get her breast done? Right? She did, right? And that's one of the things, honestly, that's some good work because I feel like it's sort of, you know, people have been very critical of her body, but people are terrible. But I feel like this, if she did that, or maybe it's a broad thing, I don't know. Okay. How would you guys rate her look? I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Okay. Dorit, the last few reunions have really given nothing. It's just sort of like, and she's supposed to be a fashion girl. I mean, that's one of the reasons why people like her. They're definitely want to see what she's going to wear. The last few reunions have been very dull. It's not bad. It's not great. I'm not inspired. I won't remember this look. I barely remember what she wore last reunion because it was very similar in regards to dull. Don't y'all think? Who did what? Let's see. The dress is by Roberto Cavalli. Shoes are Aquazzura. Makeup artist Steven Tabimba. Hairstylist is Haley Heckman. She says it's vintage Cavalli. And we're in Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive. To me, it's fashion. It's fabulous. Also, that was the theme? Oh, it's Beverly Hills. Not Italy. Okay. Well, damn. Dorit is just okay. I'm going to give you a 7. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not inspiring. Very much like what I think your book is not going to be. Uninspiring. Amanda. Oh, Lord. Amanda. She's had a rough season. Okay. Hair and makeup, I feel like it's looked better than what she's given all season. This dress looks a little sloppy. Like they took the tool and they said, you know what? We're going to throw it across your chest, bring it down the side, and then make it come and flare. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this look. Let's see who did what. The dress is by, I can't pronounce this, Metivesky. Shoes are Manolo Blahnik. Bracelets are Cartier. Earrings are diamond studs. Anklet, Van Cleef. We can't even see the anklet. Inspired by her Boss Bride era. She says, look, I'm bored. Just talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She says, the vibe is myself. And she says the dress is inspired by her Boss Bride era. And she went with a little effortless red lip fun. Okay. At first I was like, okay, but the more I look at it, it looks a little sloppy. Okay, fine. How would you guys rate it? It's okay. I'm going to give it a 6. But I gave Kathy a 6, but it was her birthday. So it's in the line with, not Cult Couture. Lord have mercy. And she's not a fashionista, though. Amanda's not a fashionista. She's not, I did not expect a lot from her. If anything, I wanted her to come at the reunion to kill it just because she's had a rough season, but. Miss Melon Magic is celebrating 13 months of being a member. Thank you. Miss Melon Magic says Amanda could have manifested a better dress. Well, damn. But all right. All right. Who else do we have a part of this reunion that I wanted to talk about? Let's see. Erica Jane. Honestly, Erica Jane was the first dress that they revealed before they revealed all the reunion looks for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I have to say, her dress is probably my favorite from everyone from the reunion. Her dress is by Jajanet. Shoes are Christian Louboutins. Jewelry, I don't know. Stylist was Morgan Penny Harwood. Makeup artist was Damian Diaz. Hairstylist was Scott King. She told the Daily Dish that she was really thrilled about her sexy and pretty season 15 look. She says, my go-to recipe always starts with having a custom dress made to fit my body perfectly, because when the silhouette is tailored exactly right, everything else falls into place. From there, we built a beauty direction that felt elevated yet effortless, leaning into slightly runway editorial energy with hair that was polished but soft, so it moved naturally and never felt overworked. Well, she was the only one here that looked like she had an actual stylist style her. I don't know if they just didn't list the stylist for the other people, but it seems as if she actually had a stylist. And the fact that she had it tailored to her body, you could tell. She looks great. Honestly, I kind of wish she would have done something different with her hair, something a little bit more bold, but I love the dress. And honestly, this for me, this is why I thought the theme was Italy, because I thought that's what she was giving us here, like mob wife or mob boss herself. You know what I mean? Okay. But yeah. Look. I like this look. I like this look. If it's my favorite, I have to give it a 10. I like this look. A 10. Her and Jennifer Tilly. All right, let me say thank you. I'm already tired. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done with it. I'm actually going to get off of here like soon. We didn't even talk about the episode yet. Well, let's talk about this episode, because we start off the episode at Rachel's birthday party, and Kyle and Dorit are avoiding each other. They're not interacting because, you know, they had the big falling out in Italy, but they're talking about each other at this event. Okay. And Kyle says that Dorit is on the path of self-destruction. All right. Erica's giving Dorit space too, because she hasn't talked to Dorit since Italy either. She needs time to assess her friendship. Sutton says to Dorit, when she has a conversation with Dorit, she's like, she feels like Dorit should approach Kyle and say, you know, I apologize. I'm dealing with a lot right now. And Dorit's like, I'm not apologizing to Kyle. It's very clear, and this is the one time that I can agree with Dorit. It's very clear there was some sort of shift in the argument, in Sutton's head when it comes to this group. And she was like, I'm going to do anything to uphold what Kyle wants. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if they had a conversation off camera where this happened. So because Sutton seems like she is just going to be loyal to Kyle for whatever reason, because I guess she wants to be Kyle's sister. So Sutton feels like, because Rachel Zoe comes over and basically shuts down the conversation. She's like, guys, you're just gonna have fun, have a party. And that's when Dorit walks away. But all of a sudden, Sutton's in her feelings. She's like, my feelings are hurt. She just basically walked away from our conversation. She's just, you know, done with me. And I'm thinking to myself, Sutton, you're being dramatic. It wasn't that deep. If anyone that you should be more upset at, it should be Rachel Zell, because she interfered with the conversation. She's the one who sort of cut off the conversation. SW says, why would Doritos apologize? I agree with that. The minute you said Doritos, I was like, oh, I haven't had Doritos in a very long time. Now I'm going to go get me a Dorito. Thank you, Janelle. Because by the time, after talking about all of everything that we've talked about today, I'm like tired now. I don't want to talk about Beverly Hills. Janelle says, God bless you, Kempire. The things you do for us by recapping a boring show. You are making Real Housewives of Beverly Hills sound remotely interesting. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. So I won't dwell too long. There we go. So Sutton gets in her feelings because she feels like Dorit just walked away from the conversation. I don't understand why Sutton all of a sudden, but this is Sutton's behavior. Sutton will randomly get in her feelings, get upset, and you're like, huh? Like, why are you upset? So she says to Kyle, I'm leaving. And then Kyle's like, you can't leave. This is Kyle being a producer. Come and talk to me. Let's film a scene, basically. Come and talk to me. Okay? Hold on. We have more breaking news. Let me just put it to the side before we move on with Beverly Hills. Let me see. Oh, yep. I see that we got the official cast for RHOP. We'll get to that in a second. Basically everything that we said. All right. I'll get back to that. Let me just continue talking about Beverly Hills. We got a lot of breaking news today. Lord have mercy. All right. So Natalie's doing the splits. That's the only thing. Poor Natalie. Some of you are going to be like, who's Natalie? Natalie was one of the official friend ofs. Rachel brought her on the show. Or at least she came through Rachel. So she's on the dance floor at Rachel's party doing splits. Yes, I know Kyle normally does the splits, but Natalie needs to have a moment. So she's doing the splits. So Sutton's inside talking with Kyle, talking about her conversation with Dorit, and she's really upset, and she's like, she basically cut me off and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So Rachel, at the end of her birthday party, it's just like, I hate my birthday. I absolutely hate my birthday. Anyone feels like this is forced? Her keeping saying, I hate my birthday, but she throws a birthday party for herself. Okay. We get it. You hate your birthday. Jennifer Tilly jumps into the pool. Then Rachel's son jumps into the pool. I did not expect that, but I was like, here we go. RC says, Natalie's a little troublemaker. No, she's a little troublemaker. But okay. Let's move on from there. Let's get to, so Sutton FaceTimes with her mother, Reba. She FaceTimes with her mother, Reba. And I have to say, this was probably like my favorite part of the episode. No matter how you feel about Reba, her being a mess and saying what's on her mind is actually entertaining. Probably the most entertaining thing that happened in this episode. So Sutton complains about her relationship with Dorit. And Reba says Dorit might not realize how she's coming across because of everything that she's going through. Remember, Reba is a therapist. So I feel like this was Sutton having a therapy session with her mom. Reba asks Sutton if she feels like, Sutton says that her feelings were hurt by what Dorit did. And Sutton's mother, Reba, says, are your feelings, she's like, are you that shallow in regards to her feelings? And Sutton's just like, what? So Sutton says that Dorit is writing her memoir, and Reba says, oh, please. Oh, please. That's what she says about her writing a book. We feel the same. We see a scene last week of Dorit filming, but also doing her photo shoot, and the book is not even done. Now you're having a launch party for the photo shoot of the book that's not done? A book that no one's going to read? We're not going to see her book at the top of the bestsellers list. Just saying. At least not at the top. I can't promise if it will make the bestsellers list. Maybe if it's a slow week. Maybe PK will buy a bunch. All right. So Reba says, oh, please. Sutton talks about she's having this book photo launch party, basically because the memoir is not even written yet. So Sutton then talks about, because her storyline is that she has an empty nest. Her youngest son has gone off to college, and she's like feeling a little bit lonely because the kids aren't home. So she asked her mom, when will the fun start about being home alone? And she says, in about 5 years. And she's like, 5 years? In about 5 years, that's when it will start being fun. She's a Virgo. I think she'll be fine. I think she's playing this up for a storyline. Virgos like their alone time. I don't think she's lonely. I do believe that there is a level of empty nest syndrome that will happen to anyone that has a bunch of kids at home and then they're all graduating and leaving. But Virgos like their alone time. She will be fine. I think she's playing this up as her storyline. Virgos, speak out, please. Thank you. Yes, Dorit had a launch party for the photo of her book, the cover. All right, so Erica and Rachel have a conversation about what's going on between Erica and Dorit. Rachel says she didn't see the issue. She doesn't see an issue with Dorit's shopping like the rest of the group because she's like, we all shop. Rachel says that everyone needs their own financial independence. Here's the thing, though. Didn't her husband or soon-to-be ex-husband, weren't they intermingled when it comes to business? I feel like there's going to be an issue over the separation of their assets. But she makes it seem like there isn't going to be an issue because she says she's financially independent. Yes, she's made her own money, but wasn't he a part of the company? Unless she's going to buy him out and everything will be hunky-dory. I don't know. Maybe they had a post-nup. I don't know. But I just feel like, is it going to be? Because I feel like your husband was very much involved in your business. But okay. So Erica says she doesn't know if she's going to Dorit's book photo launch party. Okay. And it's already setting us up as, Rachel saying like, if you don't go, it's going to be a thing. And Erica notes it's going to be a thing. Especially if she doesn't tell her that she's not coming and not being a no-show. So what we see at the end of the episode is Erica literally doing what she knows is going to trigger Dorit. They're so performative in that way. Because why wouldn't you just send her a text and be like, I think we still have a lot going on. I don't think it's right for me to come. But instead, it's going to be triggering to her and you still do it anyway. And you go film with Sutton. Casey says, I'm a Virgo and my son is a sophomore away at college and I'm still not enjoying him being away from home. Aw. Okay, Casey. Well, maybe this is true. Maybe it's true. Coco says, unpopular opinion. Well, Coco, are you new here? That's not unpopular over here. Coco says, unpopular opinion. I don't like Rachel Zoe. She's annoying. Tell us how you really feel. That's not an unpopular opinion over here. Yeah, welcome to our community because we kind of feel the same about Rachel Zoe. We feel like she's a little performative. SW says, yeah, Erica is buying next season's storyline. Yeah, that's. I feel like she's setting up to have some sort of beef because she already said at the reunion her and Dorit did not settle things. I do believe that Erica is aligning herself with Kyle because that is job security. To be honest with you, I also think Dorit's not a great friend. I don't think any of them are great friends. No, I take that back. I don't think Kyle's a great friend, and I don't think Dorit's a great friend. I do think that Erica's a great friend. And she's trying to be to both of them, but also she's also trying to survive, and she needs this job. And Dorit's not going to give her job security on this show, if we're being honest. All right, let's talk about Bozoma St. John's proposal. You're my queen to be, because that's what it reminded me of. Coming to America. Bozoma gets engaged to Keely. Dorit wasn't there. Okay. And something about this felt so performative. Everything about Boz and Keely's relationship feels so performative, especially from his end. So she's supposed to be going out to a dinner with just her and her daughter, but it's a surprise when they go to the back and her family her friends, his family is there, his mom is there, and he's up there looking like straight out of Coming to America. I don't know about that outfit. I was like, she's your queen to be. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what? First, between the new hairline, that suit jacket, even when he was giving her praises, he's like, I love your eyes, I love your lips, I love this. And it felt so fake. It felt so phony. And I'm not one to jump on the bandwagon where people have been saying, this is not a real relationship. This is just a storyline. But the more I see their relationship, I'm like, this is not real. And I told you when she first came on the show, I said, I'm a little wary of someone that has marketing experience doing reality television because they're going to be very self-aware of their brand and how they are depicted on this show. And that's what I'm getting from her. And I wouldn't be surprised that she bought that ring. I definitely believe she's going to be buying that house, that $5-point-something million house. I don't think, again, because we don't know what he does for a living. He claims that he has multiple businesses. We haven't seen it. We've seen his IMDb, though. We've seen that. I don't know. The proposal felt lackluster. Before he even put it on her ring finger. This is what I'm saying. Pay attention to the body language and the behavior. Before he even put it on her finger, he's showing it to the basically he's showing it to the camera. He's not showing it to everybody else. He's showing it to the camera. These are things that stand out to me because I'm like, wait a minute. The only person that should be showing it off to the family and to the camera should be Bose. He looks like he's shocked too. Like, oh, you picked out a good one. You paid for a good one. He's showing it off to the camera. And I said, oh my God, this is not real. His speech felt phony. His proposal felt phony. He's showing off the ring to the camera. He puts it on her finger finally. They FaceTime with her mom, and he's showing the ring off to the mom. Sorry, y'all. I just don't believe it. She's your queen to be. She's your queen. So I felt like I was watching Coming to America, Tyler Perry all mixed in one with his bad fake situation. I was like, okay, fine. Exactly. Coco says, like, look, everyone, I can afford this ring. I didn't believe it, y'all. Dr. Miss Honey says, such a cringy proposal. So it wasn't just me. And I'm trying to give grace to Bose. I'm trying for those moments where I'm like, yes, Bose, you did that. And the only place I can give that to her this week is this reunion look, Bose. It's the only place I can give it to you. But this relationship, I don't believe it. I don't believe he bought that ring. I don't believe he's going to buy that house. Jeff Alana says, waking up my dog cam. Queen to be. Oh, Essie, no. Essie says, Kempire, I almost choked. One day you will kill me for real. No, do not say that. OMG. Oh, my gosh. Yes, guys, we did talk about the breaking news about Drew and Ralph. We talked about it. We did. We saw the breaking news for those that are just joining us. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying with Bose, but I just can't. Oak said, hold on, where did Oak come? Oak says, so next year going to be Bose's Star Jones season? Exactly. Asta says, Kempire, we saw Keely's apartment. He don't have money to buy a $5 million house. Talia says, add it to the soundboard. She's your queen to be. I mean, she got further than Kiarna. She's getting further than Kiarna. Kiarna, you should have just paid Greg. We'll talk about Potomac and the cast because Bravo's announcing the cast already. All right. Kyle, I don't care. I mean, like, Kyle's daughter's getting married. Boo. No, I'm happy for Alexia. Whatever. She's getting married. All right. Dorit's book cover launch party. Okay. So Sutton tells Bose that she doesn't think she's going to go to this launch party. She thinks that if she goes, it could sever the friendship even more. Okay, I think you wanted to have a moment. You knew that Kyle wasn't going, so that's when you decided I'm not going either. You going to the book launch party actually could have probably helped your friendship with Dorit, but you're not interested in a friendship with Dorit. You're more interested in a friendship with Kyle. You even chose Kyle over an actual friend, which was Garcelle. Okay. So Dorit said that she's having, she had a full career before, in fashion before she met PK, and she kind of gave all of that up for him and the kids, blah, blah, blah. So I guess that's what she'll be talking about in her memoir. All right. Rachel says that this is where I don't like Rachel. Coco, are you still here? She acts so like the world stopped when the news broke about her divorce. No one cared. I saw one story about it and we moved on. Okay? We moved on. Okay? She then says her phone is blowing up because her ex posted on social media a birthday post to his new girlfriend, who's also a Virgo, who's born a few days after her, and she's also apparently a wannabe designer. So she's talking to Dorit about this. So Dorit's like, "Oh no, tell me what's going on." And she tells her like, my phone was blowing up. He made this post. And I'm just like, your phone was not blowing up. You probably got one text from one of your friends. Girl, did you see? Stop. All right. Kawanda says, my water went down the wrong pipe, but it wasn't Kempire's fault. Oh, Coco says, she irked my spirit. Her phone was blowing up, Coco. Her phone was blowing up. She's like, I don't follow my ex, but he posted, he's with a woman that's birthday's a few days after mine. Exactly. Miss Brooklyn says, why does she care about what her ex posts? He's an ex. Well, not officially yet, technically, but she's made her story. She's performative. She's producing. She's been on reality television before. I'm already over Rachel Zoe this season. All right. Dorit reacts to the people that aren't coming. She reads the text message. I'm sure that will make Sutton upset. I'm sure Kyle's upset. She's reading personal text messages. She reads Sutton's text about not coming. This long paragraph about not coming. Okay. Kyle's not coming. She already got messages. Natalie's sick, so she's not coming. Erica, instead of going to this event, goes to Sutton's house. But when she gets to Sutton's house, Sutton says that she wasn't expecting Erica. Okay, whatever. You all get call times. So Erica goes to Sutton's house instead of going to the event. And she, at this particular point, the event's starting, and she has not reached out to Dorit about not coming. And then they give us a big to be continued. She's your queen to be. Okay. And that was the episode. Okay, maybe this is as bad as New York. That was the episode, y'all. Well, for those that are just joining us, I did see the breaking news about Drew losing custody. We did talk about that. I will pull that out of this video and make a separate video for those that may have missed it. I will be putting the timestamps for everything as well. But we also had some more breaking news. Bravo is now revealing the cast. The cast. Yes, Bravo has revealed the cast for the Real Housewives of Potomac season 11. They say this in a post. They said, filming is in full bloom, presenting the ladies returning for RHOP season 11. Karen Huger is put first, Giselle, Ashley, Wendy, Stacy, and Tia. And as a friend, Robin. Shout out to our friends over at Reality Blurb. They were the first to report this cast, as is Kiarna and Angel. We reported to you this week would not be coming back. Kiarna posted on her social media that alluding to some sort of collab with Ulta Beauty. Good. Look good for you. I'm glad they won't be back. I know you're all probably thinking, but Ashley, I know. I think they want Ashley to do their dirty work when it comes to Karen this season. Robin is coming back as a friend. Not surprised. Word on the street, Robin was offered full time, but that means that Juan Dixon would have to film, and she already knows he's not going to. So she will settle for a friend. I think it's smart. According to Reality Blurb, the reason why Robin's even doing the friend or coming back is because she needs the money. And I believe that. I believe it. She needs the money. But she's married to Juan. What is he doing now? What is he currently doing? Paint These Wings, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. Paint These Wings says, I just want to know if Granny J has to tap to pay between her legs, because how is she affording anything? Wow. Damn. Look, damn. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Kendra says, notice how Kandi didn't badmouth Todd in public. She stayed on his good side and made sure not to make it messy in public. Yep. Kendra, thank you for another super chat. Kendra says, when Cynthia said win a case, Drew should have paid attention. Well, damn. Danny, the Dan Talk, thank you so much for another super chat. Dan Talk says the looks are as boring as the season for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion looks. Thanks to Dan Talk and for being a member. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Dr. Payne's to me, Rachel Zoe's dress is Helen Roper-ish. Everything, her entire style is very Mrs. Roper. Okay. Yes, guys, you're just joining us. We just had the breaking news. That is the Potomac's cast: Karen, Giselle, Ashley, Wendy, Stacy, Tia, and Robin as a regular Robin as a friend of. She's back, y'all. So y'all back. Y'all getting me to say regular Robin. So many of you are still having a big reaction to Robin coming back this season in my comment section when we reported on this week. But some of you said you're just happy that I'm back to saying regular Robin. On that note, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for being a part. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you to everyone that liked the video. We're almost at 700 likes. Can we get to 700 likes? Be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. Thank you to our subscribers, those of you that are here during the live chat. We appreciate you. And those of you that are watching the replay. And if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes. There are special episodes coming and have already been posted on the Kempire podcast. Are you subscribed? Live chat, if you are subscribed, let me know. If you're watching replay, let me know if you're subscribed to the Kempire podcast. There's also a Club Kempire there as well, so be sure to check that out. Okay. Kendra, stop. Kendra says, thank you for the super chat, Kendra. Kendra says, who is this lady, Natalie? Who is this Natalie lady you keep talking about? I'm always lost on that part. She is a friend of that barely brought anything this season, and she brought a split to this week's episode. Okay? All right. The comment section in regards to this, people say the Green Eye Bandits are back. Damn. Yeah. The Green Eye Bandits are back. I hope you guys are happy. All right. Guys, on that note, thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be sure to check out the description for our merch. You can see if you're watching on YouTube, our merch. Are you okay? We also have mugs, hats, t-shirts, and other things available on the House of Kempire. That's HAUS Kempire of Kempire.com. All right. Thank you all. I'm sorry. By the time we got to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I was just tired. I was like, I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about the season. I look forward to it being over. But I will add timestamps later this evening because I'm going to the movies. Bye, y'all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all. Here
we go now.